everybody. Happy Friday. Not only is this our third stream of the week, as promised, but subscribers are able to comment. I want to have every once in a while a live stream where we open it up to a couple of more people so that everybody can feel included. And also, of course, as always, a huge thanks to people who are members. Don't forget, if you're a member of BTT Movie Club, we're watching Avatar on Sunday night. Sunday. Hey, comics. I don't know what you're discussing, comics, and I really don't like discussing other creators. I don't like it when they discuss me. I feel it's important to stay in your lane and just, focus on what we're covering. But honestly, I don't even know what you're referring to. But it's very nice to see everybody. No Haunted Autumn. This is not a new shirt. This is, I am transitioning to my fall wardrobe. Hey, Jim. Welcome. Thanks for joining. And before we get to today's three stories, I did want to take a moment to talk about Chris Hemsworth. I didn't really want to make that a story in the stream because I felt that it was, I don't really want to, I think that that's a very serious situation. So I just wanted to just touch on it because some people had said they didn't understand what was happening. So basically, Chris Hemsworth has this show that he does for Disney Plus, National Geographic. And this new season has been about longevity and looking at how, our bodies can maybe be pushed. The show is called Limitless, and how can we potentially extend our lifespan? So one of the things that he did was he got himself his blood work done, and they took a look at, the different things that he has, the different genes that he has. And it's a very touching story. They had wanted to tell him on camera the results, but then it was discovered that he is extremely high risk for Alzheimer's. And so they decided to tell him that off camera because he's so high risk. They discovered, I believe they said that he's a carrier on both halves. So he has two genes that make it more likely for him to get Alzheimer's. And I think they said it's like 2 to 3% of the world has that situation. And then to make things, I think, even a little bit more troubling, his grandfather is currently suffering from Alzheimer's. So as Mika just pointed out, so it runs in his family, and he's seeing it firsthand what it can do to somebody. So it really threw him for a loop, understandably, and he's been very positive about it. He said that he wanted it to be included in the show because he wanted people to know that they should get these tests done themselves, and that also he can do things to maybe, combat it or to hold it off as long as possible. There are studies that if you, there's even some medication that you can take preemptively. But, if you make sure you get enough sleep and if you really are healthy and you stick to a good regular schedule, it's maybe likely that he can, hold it off or, at least minimize it. He doesn't have any symptoms. He wouldn't even have known that this was going to be the case if he hadn't had this test done. So he's decided, because he has two movies in the can, the new Mad Max movie and Extraction 2, that he's going to take a little bit of a break to be with his family, to be with his wife and his children, because I think he realizes he doesn't know how much time that he has. It is like Michael J. Fox, Eva. That's an excellent comparison, Michael J. Fox. But, I think on the positive side, Michael J. Fox is still fighting that fight. He's still alive. But Chris Hemsworth feels that, he just wants to make sure that he spends his prime time with his family while he can, just in case something happens. I think that's really important. I think it's important for everybody who's in a business where they have to work a lot to take that time to prioritize family connections. I think sometimes, the Fabelmans, I was talking to somebody about the Fabelmans, and the Fabelmans is almost like giving creative people and hardworking creatives an excuse for not being good members of their families. Because the art comes first and they can't help being artists. And I think that, that's not a good, you see people in animation and video games, they let those jobs consume them. And I think that, it's important to remember that that's not all life is, and it's important to have other, to have personal and family connections. And so I think that it's always a good idea, even if you can just do one day a week, to just try and reconnect. I think that's really, really important. But it's very unfortunate. I hope Chris Hemsworth is okay. He's perfectly fine now. But I think he's realizing his priorities. And he could, I don't think he's done with acting. He said, I'm not retiring. Thanks for joining. I'm sorry, I don't read. I believe that's Arabic. I'm sorry, I don't read it. I can't, so I can't give you a shout out, but thank you for joining. But I think that, I don't even think this means Thor 5 has delayed any more than it probably already is because of the poor reception for the film. I think he's probably going to take a year or a year and a half off because he has these movies in the can. That's one of the good things about the film business, that you can, then he'll have a little bit of a break. Sandra Bullock's taking a break too, and then you can come back. And I think it's good. Nobody wants to be overexposed. So I think that he'll take a year, maybe a year and a half off, and then he'll get back in it. But then maybe he'll take a break after another couple of projects. Chris Hemsworth, hey, Mr. HK. Chris Hemsworth said that he has been going nonstop for 10 years, building his career. And I think that time was well spent, to be honest with you. But I think that he's right now to be careful. So good for him. I think he's doing a great job. Hey, R. Haley. All right, so that's just what's going on with Chris Hemsworth. No problem. Comics, don't think that I was had a problem with the question that you asked. I just was explaining to you why I didn't want to answer it. Don't worry about it. All right, so that's the first story. So that's not even a story of the day, but I just wanted to talk about Chris Hemsworth. The story is getting a lot of traction. So I'm glad that Chris Hemsworth was able to turn a negative thing into something good. All right, let's talk about the Twitters. All right, I love that picture of Elon Musk because he looks like a Bond villain. It's hilarious, and he very much often acts like a Bond villain. We're going to talk today about two major things that are going on in the tech world, but because they influence entertainment, I think they are under our purview. Boopity boop boop. So also, the other thing that we're going to talk about is government oversight. Look, Michael gifted 10 memberships. What a nice thing to do on a Friday. That's very kind of you to do, Michael. So I think there's a real lack of government oversight. I think that you don't want too much government oversight, obviously, but there's maybe not enough of it. It's the pendulum effect. We don't want to go too far in the other direction. And I think you're going to see major government oversight stepping in on both these first two stories. All right, but first we're talking about Twitter. So last night I watched my screener for The Banshees of Inisherin, and at first I thought it was an awful film. And then I realized that it was actually about the Irish and their infighting and stuff like that. And, I thought the film actually was maybe a little bit more intellectual than I had thought. But I still think it's not a very entertaining movie. Just giving you a little bit of, look at Sean. Sean's like, Irish whoop. That's great. I think if you're Irish, you probably would appreciate it more than anybody else. So I bring that up because after I watched The Banshees of Inisherin, which J. King loves, I logged onto Twitter and saw Twitter basically writing its own eulogy. And I was like, what the heck is happening? Hey, Beta Ray Bill. Thank you. And I was like, Najia, I'm so glad you're able to participate. But yeah, I was like, that's so weird. What's happening? I couldn't see any evidence of what everybody was concerned about. Thank you, Matthew. That's such a cute little picture. That's adorable. So I looked around, and this is basically what's happening. All right. So yesterday, as you might have seen the story that Elon Musk sent out a Google form to all of his employees, and he said, if you're not willing to work ridiculous hours in the office and just be hardcore, basically, if you're willing to do that, click the yes button below, and if not, you will automatically be fired if you have not clicked that button by 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time yesterday, and you will get 3-month severance. Hey, Joey, that's so nice of you to gift another 5 memberships. The generosity. I'm loving it. I'm so impressed. You guys are truly a wonderful group of people. So a lot of people, it turns out, didn't click. And they didn't click intentionally. I saw one very, very interesting video that somebody filmed of several Twitter employees counting down to the deadline like it was New Year's Eve. And they had been there for many years, some of them 10 to 9 years. And they all quit. They basically quit and took the 3-month severance. Hey, Eloy. Thank you. Thank you so much. And Andre says, I've been watching you for a while. Love your content. Boop. Thank you, Andre. That's very sweet of you. I think they feel that if enough of them quit, Elon Musk will have to maybe go back to the negotiating table with them and kind of make it work out. Oh, look at iReady, another 5 memberships gifted. You guys are the best. Wow, look at the love here. Oh, it's so sweet. So yeah, I think they feel that, maybe they'll be invited back. Maybe Elon Musk won't have enough people to run the company. I got to tell you, Elon Musk, I think, is a pretty clear individual. I think, he's pretty transparent as the type of the guy that he is. He will run it. He will hire new people. I think that he's really not going to I don't think he's going to let anybody dictate to him how he runs his company. That's just the kind of person he is, or he wouldn't have put down such an ultimatum in the first place. Marjorie says, I was at Afrotech conference this past week, and the talk around what was happening at Twitter was those who were laid off was wild. I can imagine, Marjorie. What a cool conference to be at, by the way. Afrotech is a very cool name for a conference. I hope it was well worth your while to attend, but it sounds like you just got some good gossip at the very least. But yeah, so I think, so everybody was like, there's nobody running Twitter, man. The thing's going to drop dead. Oh, it's in Austin? That's great. That's so cool. So they're like, oh, it's going to just completely drop, the whole thing's going to just grind to a halt. But it hasn't. It has not. It was still up. Everybody was sharing deep, dark secrets yesterday. And people were like, this thing's not going anywhere, man. I don't know what you guys are doing. They did lock the offices because Elon Musk was afraid of saboteur. So he was he locked out everybody from the offices. There was a tweet that was very popular about someone claiming that they were fired and that were called up to let the people in who had accidentally locked themselves out. That was a fake tweet. That was just a joke, and apparently a number of people fell for it. But they did lock the offices. The offices are locked at Twitter until Monday, I think, just to try and lock it down because people are out the door and they're concerned about what might happen to the company. So that I feel is legit to a degree. But so basically, Twitter is down considerably in terms of how many people work there. Hey, Tovi. One reporter said that after the firings earlier, which got rid of 50% of the 7,000 employees, they feel that now with the resignations, you probably are down 88% in terms of the employees from when Elon Musk originally took over. That's incredible. Look, another 10 memberships gifted. J-Lo, that's very kind of you. But yeah, so that's a lot of people not there. But I'm telling you, I think that what's going to happen is that the site isn't going to shut down. I think it's going to maybe be a little bit bumpy. I think it might have glitches. I think it might take longer to maybe fix some things. I think there might be hardly any customer support. But I think it'll just keep barreling ahead. It'll just keep running. And I think in the next couple of months, Elon Musk will hire people that do want to be hardcore. Although he has a very bad track record with employees. Welcome back, Nova. Tesla has it's having a lot of lawsuits against Tesla. And, there's that conspicuous thing where all the employees of color are assigned to the same workspace away from everybody else. And you're like, who does that? It's horrible. And people are like, someone from South Africa. So, somebody put something up on the side of Twitter that was pretty crazy. They projected a ticker that was saying some pretty awful stuff about Elon Musk. Space Karen was the most popular. But yeah, I think that, Elon has some pretty crazy situation, and he's just decided to shine a giant spotlight on it. I still contend that he never had any interest in actually buying Twitter. He wanted to expose all the bots on the site, but then he was forced to do so. Eduardo says, hey, Grace, I love your work and watch every video that you make. I'm from Brazil and would love to know if you've ever watched any Brazilian movies and which one is your favorite. Love from Brazil. That's a great little picture you have there, Eduardo. I love that. That's so beautiful. I'm afraid I cannot think of any Brazilian movies off the top of my head. My father's been to Brazil, actually, and he loved it. I have never had the luxury of going, but I think Brazil is a juggernaut when it comes to affecting the pop culture space, so you're in a really cool spot. But thank you. That's very kind of you. Hey, Jolene. And let's see here. I think Elon has experienced a serious case of buyer's remorse as well. That's funny. I do think that Elon Musk is going to switch. He's going to bend Twitter to be a little bit conservative, just like you're seeing happening with CNN, because you're seeing conservative executives like Elon Musk and David Zaslav take over. Oh, yeah, City of God. I did see City of God. That was a great movie. But yes, I think you're seeing these conservative executives take over. And I don't know if these sites are going to just totally become like Truth Social and Fox News, but they're not going to lean Democrat as they have in the past. So I think you're going to see that's one change you're going to see on Twitter for sure. I do think there's a very good chance that Elon Musk will, if not personally, will declare bankruptcy for Twitter. Twitter might declare bankruptcy. Bruce Wayne says Elon Musk is the example of a hyperinflated ego and extreme narcissism. I honestly don't think that Twitter is going to go away. And I'll explain why right now. Although first I want to say that Elon Musk has made himself the star of Twitter. So I don't know if he'd want to give it up. I don't know if he'd want to sell it, because I think that's also, Elon Musk likes the publicity. Thanks, Jelaine. That's so kind of you. I like your photo. Reggie says, first time in live chat, appreciate your opinions and quality videos. I'm from San Diego. Do you think you would consider, consider moving Twitter's headquarters and operations out of California? Oh, he might, Reggie, especially since everyone quit. That's really brilliant. That's a great observation. He might move somewhere. He might move to a more conservative state, like he's done with Tesla, that will maybe have a little bit more forgiving, or in his, I think an employee's perspective, lax, laws to protect employees. That's a very good point, Reggie. I think don't be surprised if Twitter moves. That would be fascinating. San Diego, great town, by the way. So anyway, let's see here. Beta Ray Bill says, no one puts Musk in a corner. And Joseph says, hi, only have Twitter, so I don't miss your tweets. Thanks, Joseph. I felt bad. Some of you guys were writing me goodbye messages as like the Twitter was sinking, and I felt so horrible. And I said, I will talk about Mastodon in a moment. I set up a backup account over there, but I'm really glad. Twitter is like such a big part of all of our lives. I think that it cannot go away. So anyway, here's why I don't think it can go away. Let's see here. Q the nurse says, do you ever talk politics? Occasionally I do. You guys have called it a unicorn. I'm not sure. Did I come up with that term? Did you? It's like, it's very rare that you'll see me talk about politics, but occasionally I feel that I must do that. David says, if the severance procedure existed, Elon would be the type of employer to require. He would. He totally would. That's why severance is so fascinating, because you're like, I could see a future where maybe that would happen. All right, here's why Twitter is too big to fail. It is a huge promotional tool. I was thinking to myself last night, as it seemed that Twitter might be sinking, I was like, how the heck is I feel bad for any movie or product of like video game or event. Like the Game Awards are on December 8th. Imagine if there was no Twitter. Who would know that was even happening? Sure, there'd be like the live chat on its, where it was ever streaming live on Twitch and YouTube, but it would like considerably like lessen the impact of anything. Anything in the world would get less attention. That's amazing. There's no way that companies will let that happen. So somebody is going to back this up. Eloy, your name is very similar to Elon. That's funny. So that's an issue. Then I think there's also the problem of what would it do? Well, also news. I think that Twitter is still the best source of news. I think that, yes, there are some bad actors on the site, but people are pretty good at catching them for the most part. And I think that there's like, I talk to people like my parents, like my dad's like, what is this Twitter? And I'm like, he's like, I read the New York Times. And I'm like, I get the news way before you, but just because I just see it pop up on Twitter. I have Twitter open all day long. I have the top 10 in the United States just up there. You guys will DM me stuff. I see notifications come in. There's just nothing faster. And it's opened up the news situation. To give you an example, back in the day, nobody knew that FDR was in a wheelchair because the press decided that they didn't need to know and they didn't want that to potentially hurt FDR. But today, someone would just tweet a picture of FDR in a wheelchair and be like, look at that. And then I'm sure Twitter would say, isn't it wonderful for the representation and showing that even though he's in a wheelchair, he can still lead the free world. You don't want a small group to be gatekeeping information. And that's what the great thing about Twitter. I think it's very important. But then what's also important about Twitter is that it connects the world. It's like the feeling of isolation that I felt, and I'm sure many of you felt, with the idea that suddenly this communication tool might suddenly go away. I felt that it was like being in Times Square, and all of a sudden you found yourself teleported to like a field. Oh, and you were alone. Maybe there was a couple people, and you were like, what the heck is this? And so that to me was very, very scary. And I think it would hurt some people's mental health. Some of you have when I've talked about the fact that I don't like the anonymity of Twitter, some of you have pointed out that the anonymity is a saving grace for you on social media, that you couldn't openly discuss things because of your family or your community or your government. And Twitter allows you to do that. So I think it would be just horrific if that were to go away. So, and it's amazing that Twitter is a privately owned company. Maybe that's bad. Twitter took it private. Maybe it should be public. Maybe having that support backs it up, I think. So I think that the government oversight is a problem. The FTC is thinking of stepping in because they don't like the way Elon Musk is handling it right now. The lack of security in particular is alarming to them. But also, if Elon Musk had been taxed properly in the first place, as some people are pointing out, he wouldn't have been able to even purchase Twitter. So by the government not taxing individuals appropriately, you have a number of billionaires running around, and they are causing a lot of problems. Jeff Bezos, Richard Branson. Richard Branson is trying to get in here. He has some documentary coming out where he's like, look at me, I'm Richard Branson. Remember, I'm the original crazy billionaire. And everyone, I think people are off of the billionaire kick, except, there's still some people who are like, but I think most of us are like, you guys are a scourge on society, as you know, I'm a capitalist, okay? But I feel very strongly that nobody, I think that it's run amok. And the destruction of the middle class, here's a unicorn for you. I think the destruction of the middle class continues to destroy society. And that is, everyone's like, well, we'll fix the world. I'll tell you right now, bringing back the middle class. And you get rid of that by allowing too many of the upper management executives to take too much of the money, and you're not putting it into the workforce. And that's affecting politics, it's affecting purchase power, it's affecting everything. When was America at its strongest? When it had a strong middle class after World War II. So it is pretty simple. And I'm annoyed that not a single political party is behind this. Brennan says, what's the deal? You know who causes revolutions? Societies where the lower class is too big. French Revolution, a lot of other stuff, China. When you don't have a middle class and everyone feels they have nothing to lose, that's when they take to the streets. So keep it up, society. All right, Brendan V says, what's the deal with the barely promoting Strange World? That is an off-topic question, but since you get paid $5, I must answer it. I think they know it's not particularly good. There's a rumor that it's going to go to Disney Plus pretty freaking quick. Who else? I saw some other things here. Oh, thanks, Josh. That's very kind of you, Josh. I know Josh, so I particularly appreciate the donation, Josh. Let's see here. Barbara Seville says, damn, what other channel gives you discussions this varied? Thanks, Barbara. I appreciate that. That's very nice of you. I appreciate that. We are having a little bit of a business discussion here. It's pretty fun. Xavier Ramos says, how would Logan Roy handle Twitter? I think very similar to Elon Musk, actually, to be honest with you. Jay King says, Twitter has given so many people a platform to share their work that would have never been afforded to them if Twitter didn't exist. It's very important. Couldn't agree more. Twitter cannot go away. And then let's see here. Thanos. It is like the Thanos snap. That's right, Dancing Dog. That's right, Chris. Chris also said that. It is weird. It's very bizarre. It was so weird. I also last night was like, boy, I sure am living through a lot of historical events. Like things that you read about usually in books and be like, that must have been wild. And then you're like, wait a minute, this is happening. And a lot of people were talking about that last night, being like, I can't believe I actually have a front row seat to this. Ike and Ike says, Twitter is a small group of people gatekeeping information. It should be a small percentage of the world population. Well, Ike, I don't agree with that. I think that Twitter, anyone can be on Twitter who wants to be. So if people choose to sit it out, that's cool. I'm sure they have a lot less stress in their lives. But Twitter is the town square of the world, as Elon Musk himself has said. And, you can choose to visit the town square or not. But that's, there's nothing else. It's not like people are taking Twitter seriously over something else. Nova says, hi Grace, I've been enjoying your videos since 2008 on Indie Mogul. I haven't checked your Agatha Coven of Chaos theory. I'll try and look at that DM. I'm very busy today. I'm sorry, but I did see that you DM'd me. All right, so anyway, what else did I want to talk about here? Oh, yes, will there be a true competitor? Maybe. Jack Dorsey, who founded Twitter, has something that's about to launch in beta mode. Maybe someday. You can sign up for the beta. I did, but they haven't told me that it's starting anytime soon. But I still think it's going to be hard to migrate everybody off of Twitter. There's just too many people on Twitter. I went over to Mastodon and I'm like, what the heck is this? I don't think Mastodon is well organized. There was no really place to see what everybody was like. Twitter isn't Facebook. Facebook is about talking to your own group. Twitter is about finding out what everybody's talking about, in my opinion. And there's no way to do that on Mastodon. And you have to be like in a server and you're like, and the most popular server is closed. So I'm like on some other server and I'm like, what server is this? And I'm like, this doesn't make any sense to me. And it was very hard to operate. And then I also set up a counter social account. Last night was insane, This morning I was like, what did I do? So I set up a counter social account and that was even more weird. That was like Mad Max Fury Road. That's what that was like being on there. I'm like, what the heck is this? So I feel like Twitter has to stay. I don't know if Elon Musk will continue to own it. I don't know how crazy it might get for a point, but I think it's going to be just fine. Don't worry about it. There's just nothing like Twitter. Twitter will survive. All right, so that's the first story of the day. Woo, what a treat. That was fun. All right, second story of the day. Hold on. Somebody just gifted another 10 memberships? Tanya, did you just gift another 10 memberships? That's very kind of you. I wonder why. Did you do that? Did I just see that now? Yes, you did. You did a little bit earlier. That's so kind of you, Tanya. That's very generous. If you want to be able to accept a membership, I'm not quite sure how it's done. I believe you have to say that you will accept gifts or maybe a notification will come up or it's something that you have to toggle in your account. But that's very kind. All right, yes, it's the Taylor Swift story. Oh, Lily, I can't believe you have tickets. That's amazing. All right, boop. Oh, no, I covered up poor Taylor Swift's face. She's having a rough week. Well, kind of. Taylor Swift, but I have to say, I sometimes think back to how Kanye, although I do agree, though, that the Beyonce video was better. I'm sorry. I watched the Beyonce, I just watched Single Ladies, actually, the other day again. I was like, let me revisit that. And I was like, this should have won. It's incredible. But I do feel that people sometimes don't value or appreciate just how successful Taylor Swift is. She's incredibly successful. I like Taylor Swift quite a bit, and I really relate to some of the things that she talks about. I think like she has some of the same issues that people like myself do, like a lot of women do who are in this space, which is why I loved the Man song so much. I actually rewatched, I think that's why I was watching music videos. And I had this thought, yeah, that's what happened. I was watching Taylor Swift music videos and I was like, these are fantastic. And then, that's funny one. So that was fantastic. And then I was like, oh yeah, but I think that Beyonce video was better. So I went and rewatched it and I was like, yeah, it's better. But yeah, the Man was incredible. And I think that everything that she talks about, that Taylor Swift talks about in that song is very true. But anyway, so Taylor Swift, she has a concert coming up. By the way, I don't even like her new album. As I tweeted, somebody asked me what I thought of it. And I said, all the songs sound exactly the same. And a number of people were like, you're not wrong. But you can't deny the fact that she dominated the entire Billboard Top 10 chart. Every single one was hers. That's incredible to me. That's incredible. I just can't believe that she was able to do that. That's star power. Cosmic says, will you be watching Elton John on Disney Plus? I don't know. I don't know if I will. I'm not a huge Elton John fan, to be honest with you. So anyway, but we're talking about Taylor Swift. So Taylor Swift has a huge concert coming up, and so the tickets are going on sale. So Ticketmaster, just a little bit of backstory here, Ticketmaster was acquired by Live Nation, and some people are saying they have a monopoly. There's also Telecharge. I think that's where I bought my Back to the Future musical tickets from, but there really aren't a lot of ticket companies. So Ticketmaster really is the only game in town, especially for a concert. And so some people feel that, it's a bit of a monopoly. And apparently the Department of Justice has been looking into this already. but it got real bad this week. So what exactly happened, in case you're not on Twitter and don't know about this? See, if you were on Twitter, you would know about this. All right, so this is what happened. Telecharge is only for Broadway, I think, but Telecharge is another ticket company. I think you can't have more than one company selling your tickets because it would be too hard to, one second. It would be too hard to like cross-reference the sales that were going out. So what happened is that there was a pre-sale earlier this week, and it was almost impossible to get in. The site Ticketmaster was crashing. The line wasn't even moving, and people were freaking out because they were trying to get tickets. Then it was discovered that the tickets that were sold were already on StubHub and were being sold for ridiculous amounts of money. They were being sold for more than the Super Bowl tickets go for. Super Bowl tickets are anywhere from $7,000 to $10,000. People were putting Taylor Swift tickets on sale on StubHub for like $15,000 to $20,000. So that's insanity. All right. That's so sweet of you, Kirkpatrick. About the Ticketmaster fiasco, you have to give Pearl Jam props for bringing up the issue with Ticketmaster back in 1994. You're right, you do. You do. The music business is on the front lines of all this stuff. They were on the front lines of, digital content and iTunes. And so now the music business is dealing with this with concerts. So, but it's like really, really insane. So not only were these tickets going on, and I think that StubHub has become a normal part of ticket sales, which I think is a bit of a problem. I think the scalping has gotten out of control. Now, I think it's great to be able to resell your ticket if you can't make it. I mean, my family's done that. I've done that, which is weird. You're like, I wonder who will be sitting next to me because I'm only selling one ticket. So that's always kind of funny. But yeah, I think that's a really wonderful thing. But I think that the reseller situation has gotten out of control. Then it got even worse because there was supposed to be a public sale of tickets. A public sale of tickets was supposed to happen later this week. But then Ticketmaster canceled it because they said, you know what? We sold all the tickets during the pre-sale and there just isn't enough, tickets left to have a general public sale. And that's horrible. There should have been a limit on pre-sale tickets. They should not have been able to sell out in the pre-sale before it went to the general public. That is really a problem. So the government was like, whoa. So the government was secretly looking into this, but then representatives started tweeting about it, sure enough, saying, we're coming for you. The person, I think Klobuchar, who ran, but who is the one with the whiteboard? Is that Klobuchar? I think that's Katie Jacobs. There's a representative who's fantastic. She brings out the whiteboard and everyone's like, oh my God, she just ended you. I think she needs to get her whiteboard out here. Katie Porter, thank you. Katie Porter. I'm always like, why doesn't Katie Porter run for a larger office? And take her whiteboard. And Katie Porter should take her whiteboard and bring down Ticketmaster. When I saw all these representatives talking about Ticketmaster, I was like, we need the whiteboard lady. She also has good branding. I'm very impressed with her. You're like, yeah, it's that lady, So I think it's very important. You're like, oh, she's your rep, Chase? That's fantastic. Good for you guys for voting for her. But yeah, I think Ticketmaster's probably like, we went too far. They're like, that's what companies have to be careful about. They have like no oversight, but they keep pushing the edge of the envelope they're like, is the line here? Oh, it's not here. Well, let's see if it's here. And you're like, stop testing the line because eventually you're going to find it. And this week, Ticketmaster found the line. Even Taylor Swift was like, what the F? She said, I specifically asked Ticketmaster if they could handle the load. Taylor Swift didn't even address the fact that they sold all the tickets before the general public sale because that's just so bad. Davin says, got cast to do extra work in Haunted Mansion. They cut the amount they needed to get it even worse. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry to hear that, Davin. That's a funny sidebar, but I'm sorry that it happened to you. But yeah, let's see here. Devin says, doing extra shifts at Amazon so I can get Beyonce this summer. That's awesome. That would probably be a wonderful event. But yeah, we'll see what happens to Ticketmaster. We'll see. But I think that this is probably one of the worst things I've ever seen. A lot of people complain about the way Comic-Con is run. I think that there's a lot of problems in the way these companies and these events are run. I think it's really a problem. I think that, and there's no one to answer to for a bad consumer experience. Where's consumer affairs? Right? We need some kind of national on your side. Because I think that there's many situations where people are like, this is ridiculous. I have money. I want a fair shot at being able to get my ticket. So I just think that's just a fascinating situation. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. But, I think it's interesting you're seeing finally some government oversight in these spaces. Now, we don't want the government to go too far. Then, it'll be, again, the pendulum effect. And then we'll be like, that's too much in the other direction. Hey, Andrew Hudson. That's very cute. Hi to you. That's such a cute little puppy there. Cosmic says, I bought my tickets on D23 from StubHub. I went to the event and I was disappointed with what they showcased. That's sorry, Cosmics. D23 is really more, D23 isn't so much a news event. D23 is for fans. That's a big difference from Comic-Con. All right, but very fascinating, very fascinating. I did join D23. They had a really good discount, and I like the magazine. I joined just for the magazine. I wish I could subscribe just to the D23 magazine. It was a little bit more promotional than I remember. I had gotten it years ago when they first launched D23. Somebody I know had gotten it for me for a present, and it was a little bit more better curated back in the day. This one seemed a little bit like a giant ad that I paid for. Let's see. I haven't read it yet. They have a big cover story on Avatar, so let's see what they got to say. All right, so the third story of the day, brought over from yesterday, but first, Jack says, hey, my 10-year-old relationship ended last year, and your videos are really helping me get through it. Thank you, Grace, and everyone here. I'm so sorry, Jack. First I thought I was like, I haven't been on for 10 years. Hold on. So, Jack, I just want to give your comment the right attention here. I'm very sorry to hear, Jack, about your relationship ending. But I think it's important not to dwell on it. I have some really good life advice that was given to me, and that's never look back. And that has served me extremely well. It's over. Just force yourself to turn around and walk forward. But distractions help. So I'm so happy that myself and this community can be there for you to take your mind off of it. I'm sure that you will find someone else. If you could be in a 10-year relationship, that means you really have good relationship skills and there'll be someone else out there for you. But, Jack, it's so good. I'm glad that you shared your story with the rest of us. Juan says, it literally took me 2 hours to get Taylor tickets and they were $300 for a lower bowl. So expensive, but worth it. I'm glad you got in. Let's see here. Who else here? Seahorse is sorry for the record strategy moment, but do you think whenever... record scratch, you mean. The autocorrect is killing some of you. I'm not sure when the Avatar pre-sale tickets will be. It might be... I think there's a very good chance the Indiana Jones trailer has leaked. But I think there's a very good chance they'll release it on Monday officially, and I shall do full coverage. So I think maybe Tuesday or Wednesday Avatar tickets will go on sale. Certainly after, maybe they want to give Black Panther the holiday weekend, so maybe the Monday after that. But, it's coming up. They got to go on sale pretty soon. Hey, Christian. All right, so let's do the third story of the day, and then you can ask me anything that you would like. It's very nice of you to write, Jack, really nice comments. That's so kind of all of you. You guys are so sweet. Barton, is your wife really having a baby tonight? If so, fantastic. All right, so let's see here. Third story of the day. Boom, baby. Boom, baby. All right, so I was going to cover this yesterday. I feel bad I keep moving the Quiet Place story. But Lupita Nyong'o, when I first covered that she had been cast in A Quiet Place, the prequel, A Quiet Place Day One, and that Emily Blunt and John Krasinski would not be in the movie, I was like, boy, I sure hope they take good care of her. And they did! As they cast Eddie from Stranger Things as her co-star. Wow, this movie's set. It'll be really on people's radar. That is really fantastic. I'm so happy that Lupita has such a great co-star and that they're now really a really great team. I think this is fantastic. I feel very, very good about this. It'll be interesting to see Joseph Quinn, that's his real name, he's British, in real life without that wig. And will he become even more like you made me think of Indiana Jones because I was talking there. Will he become even more like Robert Downey Jr.? Will he be Robert Downey Jr.? That I'm very curious to see. But what I thought was the most interesting is that he has, I think, the best gig out of Stranger Things. Out of everybody in the Stranger Things universe, I think that he did the best. Oh, Eric, that's so nice to use your super chat for Jack. But yes, that's incredible. So Stranger Things, I guess maybe this is the benefit of being killed off because that means he's available for major projects. David Harbour, I think, has done the best. He, of course, was the new Hellboy. He was good, even though the project wasn't. And he, of course, has Violent Night coming up where he plays Santa. So I think he's done the best. Millie Bobby Brown, she was in Godzilla, but that didn't really work out. And I think the Enola Holmes movies are great, but she produces those herself. And so I'm surprised, you would think that Millie Bobby Brown would maybe be in something else by now. Finn Wolfhard, he was in It and also Ghostbusters, but I don't think he's really connected. And Joe Keery was in Free Guy, but he didn't have too much to do there either. Sadie Sink, as some of you are pointing out, she is in The Whale. That is really phenomenal. That's the Darren Aronofsky, Brendan Fraser movie. So that's pretty good. Sean Levy, you're right. Sean Levy, he's living the Duffer Brothers life. They're like, how did he get our career? He's getting all the stuff off of this. But that's very funny. Yes, I think that's hilarious. But yeah, but it's amazing to me that Joseph Quinn would get the best project, the best gig. This is a very good gig outside of the franchise. So, but we'll see. There's only one more season of Stranger Things left. And then perhaps, that's very kind of you, Addie. And then perhaps they'll start getting better gigs because they'll all be available. I'm excited. All right. Carl Trooper, 5:15 a.m. in the Philippines. Good morning. I'm so glad that you were awake for this and you can join us. And you're just in time for Ask Me Anything. It's 4:16. You can ask me anything you'd like until 4:26. Gabriel says Colin Farrell or Brendan Fraser for Best Actor. Well, I haven't seen The Whale yet, so I can't really comment on that. I did think that Colin Farrell was excellent in The Banshees of Inisherin, but I did not particularly care for the movie, and I thought it didn't really connect. So I think Colin Farrell might get nominated, but I don't know if he's going to win. My Doe, I think for sure that Michelle Yeoh will get nominated. I don't know if she's going to win. Let's see how the race is shaping up, but I think she will be nominated for Best Actress. I'm not going to watch Bones and All, J. King, but I'm glad that you liked it. As I said, I'm just not into the hot cannibal movie, I'm afraid. Let's see here. Chris says, did you watch Causeway on Apple Plus? I can definitely see Oscar noms for Jennifer Lawrence and Brian Tyree Henry. I did not. I don't really feel like I'm going to watch that, to be honest with you, but I'm glad that you enjoyed it, and we'll see if they can. I don't see a lot of momentum for that project, but we'll see. Barbie Minaj says, speaking of Taylor Swift story, have you ever been to a concert? If so, it's your favorite. I have been to a lot of concerts. I've never been to a Taylor Swift concert. I've been to a wide range. I've seen Rod Stewart. I've seen Jimmy Buffett for New Year's Eve was a keeper. That was incredible. I've been to like a Jingle Ball. I saw Michael Jackson actually before he passed away. That infamous Jingle Ball where Whitney Houston was. I was there. What else? I'm blanking on things. I've seen. Let's see. I often go a lot with my family, so we'll see. Like, I've seen some really great stuff. I don't go to as many concerts as I would like. Let's see here. Let me see. I missed some other questions here. Jay King says, going to see She Said tomorrow. Oh, I'm so glad. You're going to love it. Cosmic says, also next year I'm going to be at Comic-Con. I was wondering if you'll be doing a panel. I really don't go to Comic-Con. I find it much more effective to cover it from right here. But Comic-Con is something everybody should attend at least once. Resident Justice says, do you think you'll be covering the new season of Doctor Who? Yes, I do. For sure, almost for sure. Thanks, H-Tiz. That's so nice of you. Because I think it's going to be big on Disney+. 80s model. I always love seeing your thing. It's so funny. Can you send me some well wishes? First time getting COVID and enjoying the live stream in bed. You held out so long, 80s model. I'm sorry it finally got you. I hope it's not too serious, but I'm glad you're recuperating and I'm glad you're taking care of yourself. And of course, we all send you well wishes. And I'm glad we're able to keep you company. Let's see. Did I miss anything here? Voice injects says, do you think Rogue will absorb Carol Danvers' powers in the MCU? I actually don't. I don't, because I think that it's just too mean to do that to Brie Larson. Sorry to say. Because people would just make too big a deal out of it. Juan Carlos. Hey, Juan Carlos. I've never been to a concert or anything of that sort. You should go. It's so fun. I really would recommend it. That's very kind of you, Juan. I saw your very nice tweets today. Danelle says, any truth to the White Tiger rumors for Daredevil Born Again? I saw those. I haven't had a chance to ask my sources about them, but I haven't heard anything about it. The rumor is that it would be Jenna Ortega. And let me just tell you, I feel that Jenna Ortega can do better. So I hope it's not true, because I feel after seeing Wednesday, I'm editing my review right now. It'll go up this afternoon. I feel she could do much better. Gigi says, if it were between The Woman King and Knives Out 2 for Best Picture, which do you want to win? Which do you think is at its best? That's a tough one, Gigi. I think I would go with Knives Out 2. To be honest with you. I like The Woman King a lot, but I feel like it's just not going to get the support it needs to win. I'd like to see it nominated, but I think Knives Out 2 could win. It's very, as you know, the award season is very political, and it's not only what you want to win, but what you think has a good chance of winning, because you don't want to throw your vote into an abyss. Hi, Lena. I always love seeing you, Lena. Let's see here. Erwin says, are you planning on reviewing or watching Pinocchio? The new one, I assume you're talking about. Yes, I am. I've asked for a screener. I don't think they've sent them out yet, the Guillermo del Toro Pinocchio, but I will cover that. Nicholas says, will the Avatar watch-along be the extended edition or theatrically released? I think theatrically released, man. I mean, it's 3 hours as it is. That's a long time to be watching. What do you guys think? I mean, I'll look into it, but I think the original. Leroy says, have any opinions on the FTX fiasco or crypto in general, since we're talking about government regulations? I don't want to be too mean to anybody who lost a significant amount of money in that. I think it's pretty awful. But I would say, especially when it comes to your money, don't put into anything that isn't government regulated. Britt says, thoughts on Babylon? I thought it was interesting they were going to sue. Someone's trying to sue the people who endorsed it. That would be an interesting case. I have turned down some endorsements because I didn't feel comfortable asking you to do things that were like banking and stuff like that. Britt says, thoughts on Babylon's first screening? I think someone asked me about that yesterday, and as I said, I love Margot Robbie. I think she's great, but she has horrible choices for her own material. Super Extrovert, so I'm not surprised. Super Extrovert says, hey Grace, I think you should start a Discord channel. I don't know, man. It's like hard to figure out how all this stuff works, to be honest with you. And it's like, I'm like, for the most part, a one-person operation. So it's very hard to I'm trying to make sure I find time to do everything here and on Twitter. HTiz says, Jack, it's going to be hard, but you are, oh, look at HTiz. This is for you, Jack. So they're telling Jack, it's going to be hard, but you are going to get through it. You are going to be all right because I had a bad divorce. I was remarried to an awesome and supportive wife a few years later. Oh, that's so great, HTiz. That was very kind of you to make sure that Jack saw that. Jack, I hope you're still on the stream. Let's see. Did I miss anything else? I don't think so. Wait. All right. Welcome, the Nikemian. Why does Twitter do this to me? Let's see here. Let's see. Where did I just last let off? Where is it? I'm trying to make sure I get everybody's thing. Wow, why is there so many of these things? Okay, thank you. I'm so glad so many of you are interested. Garrett Ferrero says, thoughts on Deborah Ann Wool not being asked yet, but open to returning. She's sure talking about that a lot. She's like, they still haven't called me. I do think it would have really hurt the show for her and Foggy not to be there, so I can't imagine that they're not going to get a call. But they're about to start filming soon, so that call's got to happen. I think for them not to be involved, I think it would really just cast a pall over the show. So I would be surprised if Disney were that stupid, but she still hasn't been called. Ozzy G says, did you see the new castings for Percy Jackson? You mean like the adult ones? I gotta tell you, I don't think Percy Jackson's gonna connect. Hippo for eyes, where did you get that emoji? What's for dinner tonight? I think I might be making macaroni and cheese. Kraft macaroni and cheese. Paul Pork Chop says, going to see the menu tonight. Oh, your name is perfect for that. Are you reviewing? I'm not reviewing. I just feel it's not enough. It's not a big enough movie. As you can see, now that I cover a lot of shows and streaming, I kind of like do a mix of both. But I declined an invitation to go see that. That's the other thing. Sometimes there are just so many screenings that I could get lost in doing screenings, and then I don't have enough time to do my work. So I try to have to really find a good balance. Jordan says, how would someone explain streaming to someone older that doesn't understand it? I guess you would say it's like a live show, but I think the most important part is the interactive quality, perhaps. Lena, I'm afraid I haven't heard anything about Wonder Woman 3. I do know you love Wonder Woman, as you can see everybody from her avatar, but I haven't heard anything lately about that. Let's see here. Brian says, that's a great picture. Hi, Grace. Are you watching Marvel's Midnight Suns? You mean like the video game? No, I am not. But I did see the Wanda magic little like animated intro. And I was like, I love Wanda getting more attention. I'm so happy for her. Tridow says, what do you think Taylor should do to fix this? Her star power is nuts. I think she's going to have to maybe I don't know what she could do, because what ticketing service would she use? But she might have to add a couple of more concerts. But she's already really overextended. It's a difficult position that she's found herself in. She might just have to make sure it doesn't happen again. But poor Taylor, she has to fight everybody. Scooter Braun, now this. Aaron says, any DC news? Not any new stuff, but I was proven right today, again, about the Superman Henry Cavill situation. Not to say that he won't get a contract, but I've been telling you he does not have one, and he does not. It's driving me crazy. Rob McDoodle said, I really get upset when people feel that there's a personal reason why I report things. No, I'm just reporting stuff. Rob McDoodle says, absolutely loving Aubrey Plaza and The White Lotus. Have you seen Ingrid Goes West? It's a great dark comedy exploring social media and mental illness. I have not, but anything that Aubrey Plaza did that got her to this point, good for her. She is incredible on The White Lotus, which just got renewed for a third season. I'm so happy. And I'm so happy for Aubrey Plaza on Agatha, Coven of Chaos. So it's going to be good stuff. Kyra says, thoughts on the Elemental trailer? I didn't love it, to be honest with you. It felt like a little bit too much like Inside Out and stuff like that. I thought it was a little small in scope. I'm sorry I didn't get to react to it. Again, I'm telling you, my work schedule is very tough. I've gotten to a bad thing where I'm staying up late to try and catch up, but then I can't get up early enough the next day. So I'm really trying to get back on schedule. It's hard, as I'm sure many of you know. So that's why I wasn't able to react to the teaser, but I will react to the first full trailer for it. I gotta tell you, it didn't look like a theatrical release to me. I'll tell you that too. It looked like Disney Plus to me. The Brendan V says, any Scream 6 tea? I have not heard anything new about Scream 6, I'm afraid. Dre Film says, hey Grace, which DC character outside of the main lineup have interesting enough source material that will be good for live action in your opinion? Well, I was very happy that James Gunn tweeted a picture of Mr. Terrific the other day. I'm like, is he going to do something with Mr. Terrific? Or is he just trying to call attention to maybe not as popular DC characters or well-known DC characters? But I would love for there to be something with Mr. Terrific. He is one of the rare characters that is not like a Marvel character, that's very much his own unique space. And I think he's a wonderful character. He's a character that originated as a character of color. And so I'd love for them to do something with Mr. Terrific. So I'm waiting for that to be official. Whelm says, with how often you're correcting your reporting, why haven't you played the lottery yet? That's very kind of you, Whelmed. I did. Sometimes I read a story where someone played the lottery for 3 months and actually did pretty well. And I've been thinking of trying to do that as an experiment. But it's hard to find time to go and get the lottery tickets. Also, I have to learn how to play the lottery, and I'm like, this is very complicated. But every time I walk by a bodega here in New York City and I see a line out the door for people buying lottery tickets, I'm like, I gotta get on that. Well, thanks for coming back, the name Quinn. Mason says, been here since 2015 when you covered the Suicide Squad teaser, and the BTT community has only gotten better over the years. I'm glad you're a part of it too, Mason. Let's see here. Jesse the Good Witch. I finally got to your question here. Not a question, but I just wanted to pat my own back for guessing during a BTT Live without knowledge of any spoilers what the twist at the end of Black Panther was. That's great. Good for you, Jesse. I give you a digital cookie. Let's see here. Juan says, Guillermo del Toro got an honorable doctorate from my alma mater this week. The same person that signed his degree is the one that signed mine. Oh, that's wonderful. Cosmic says, my last super chat of the day. I really love Grace, it's a done deal. Thanks, Cosmics. Jack says, oh, look, Jack, he has seen all your comments. I just wanted to thank everyone for the support. I'm honored to be a part of this community and really love that we are a big international family. I hope everyone has an amazing week. Jack, that's so sweet of you. And Jack, I don't know if anyone will, but you might want to revisit this video and look at the comment section, because people will probably leave some comments for the next 24 to 48 hours, and there might be something there too. So I just wouldn't want you to miss it. So you might want to just circle back maybe on Monday. I mean, there might be nothing. I don't want to get your hopes up, but maybe someone might write you something. So, I just want you to check that out. Let's see here. David says, any truth to the rumor that Spider-Man freshman year was scrapped? I have not heard anything about that. I would be surprised, though. Did I miss something here? No, I don't think so. I think I got everything. David says, oh boy, a Taylor Swift story. Just a reminder that it was the first week in Billboard history that no male artists are present in the top 10, and it was all her. That's great, David. But we want to see everybody succeed. I don't want, we don't want to tear others down so that others can go up. We just all want to be I think, in my opinion, we all just want to be in a fair arena where everybody has a chance. But that is commendable. And again, Taylor Swift did it, and she should get credit for that. Oh, hey, Subicio. It's always so nice to see you. I love when your YouTube pictures correspond with your Twitter pictures, so I get to know you much better. My thoughts on the Disney layoffs. As I've said before, I think it's pretty hilarious that Bob Chapek got himself a big bonus and a contract extension because the stock was doing so well, and then the bottom fell out of it right after he got all that, and now it's a disaster. So we'll see, but he's already gotten his renewal. Alex, I love to see how everything that is branched off from WandaVision gets the most attention. That's true. Also, where do you think we will see Kate Bishop next? She's supposed to be in that like zombie animated show, but that's, I think, it for now that I've heard of. I think there's too much in the MCU. I think it's diluting it. I think it's too much, to be honest with you. Let me get some non-super questions if I can. Did I get everybody? There's one last one here I see. Danny says, if The Rock hid Taylor Swift tickets in random theaters for Black Adam, it would be in the $1 billion club. That's hilarious, Danny. The Taylor Swift Deadpool 3 cameo sounds like money. Yeah, that's very funny. Although she's not a very good actress. I saw her in Amsterdam, and while I am a big Taylor Swift fan, she was not very good. Joy says, who would you like to see cast as Black Cat? I think Anya Taylor-Joy. Speaking of Joy, would be a very good choice for that. I think she'd be a great Harley Quinn. I think she'd be a great Black Cat. She's, of course, Furiosa, and I don't know how that's going to work out for her because I feel like the ageism on that. Charlize Theron's been pretty vocal about how disappointed she is that that's what they decided to do. So I wouldn't want to be the person that Charlize Theron was pointing to. Zara, as I said earlier, for dinner, I believe I'm going to make some macaroni and cheese. It's Friday. Treat myself. Oh, Jose, it's my pleasure. I'm so glad you were able to join. Let's see here. Chris Hernandez says, Grace, how would you bring the X-Men and who would be in your team? That would take too long to answer here. I want to make sure I get to a lot of questions. But as I said, I'm a fan of the Charles Xavier has been hiding mutants from everybody's consciousness, even though they're there for the whole time. Patrick says, thoughts on 135 million domestic tracking for Avatar 2? That would be kind of weak, but it's interestingly, right around where Top Gun Maverick opened, and that ended up being the biggest movie of the year. So let's see what the reviews are like. Keith says, without spoilers, is Mephisto really coming soon? Yes. The spoiler's out there if you want to find it, which is unfortunate because it would have been an amazing reveal. Sean says, thoughts on the Francis Cobblepot? I haven't read. I'm behind. I just want to chill when I'm reading my comics lately, so I have to tell you, I read a lot of Archie comics instead. But I did purchase all the One Bad Day comics. Is that what you're referring to? And I have not read them yet. I only read the Riddler one, which was actually very good. I gotta tell you, I get upset with Tom King. I think he does a bad job, but it's always one of the first comics I read because I think at least he usually delivers something interesting. Let's see here. Josh says a Silver Surfer in the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. I have not watched that yet. I'll get my screener on Mondays. I believe most people are. But I heard that Silver Surfer was going to be in Fantastic Four along with Galactus. So I'm not sure if he would show up here, but maybe. And then he'll show up in Fantastic Four. Let's see here. Danny says, Grace, do you have superhero fatigue? I don't, because I read comic books and I have for a very long time, so I'm used to all these superheroes, but I'm getting a little frustrated that other people are fatigued and it's like there's less return for the projects. The interest is down. Like, I'm very worried about Black Panther in its second weekend because the interest is just completely evaporated. Let's see here. Is it the Penguin TV show, Sean? Oh, I'm very excited for it. I think it's going to be fantastic. I'm a little surprised at how it's going to be Batman-y just with like mob people, but I'm excited to see it. Danny says, do you like Anya Taylor-Joy or Margot Robbie more? I like both of them. I think Anya Taylor-Joy, I think, has a little bit more of a handle on herself. So I think she has a better I don't think I would like either of them more. In terms of who do I think I trust more with their choice of projects, I think Anya Taylor-Joy does a little bit of a better job picking stuff. Is Black Adam on digital? Let's look. That would be really weird. Let me see. I didn't even notice that. Doesn't seem to be on digital. Maybe next week. I don't think it's on digital. Sephiroth, I have not seen Beetlejuice the musical on Broadway, but I think some people said I thought it was pretty good, right? It's online. It's pirated. Oh, that's interesting. I think it's been piratable, I think, for 2 weeks now. Let's see here. AJ Jones says, hi Grace, do you partake in the Hallmark style Christmas movies that have become so popular lately? I'm afraid I do not, but I did like the one, I forget who was in it. There was one I watched on Netflix last year, which I thought was excellent. It was with the Asian comedian and with the glasses. I forget his name. He did a great job. And they sang Baby It's Cold Outside. And they did such a good job on it. Oh, Christian, I'm glad you like my shirt. It's Ted Baker. I do like red a lot. I'm a big red fan of the color red. Let's see here. Jeff Bunny says, how strong are the Fabelmans' Oscar chances? I think the Fabelmans will get a lot of nominations because it appeals so much to people in the industry, but I don't think it'll get a lot of wins. I think that there will be a lot of blowback, and the movie has really failed in theaters. I don't think that it's going to do particularly well. I think it'll get nominations, though. Jimmy Yang, yes, that's right. Love Hard. Love Hard. Thank you, Eddie Wu. If you are looking for a good Christmas movie, you didn't watch Love Hard last year, you should watch that. It was fantastic. Camillo, I don't know if I'm going to watch the Game Awards, but I hear they're going to have a new Super Mario Brothers trailer during them, so I will be sticking around to cover whatever drops. Look how much later it is. I'm 10 minutes over how long I said I was going to talk. I love talking to you guys so much. You guys are so fun. Let me do some shout-outs. All right, let me do some shout-outs, and then I got to go. Nath says, hey, Grace, I've been a subscriber for years and finally caught a live stream. Thank you, from Belgium. No, I have not heard anything lately about Wonder Woman, I'm afraid. Clock Monster says, Grace, I'm forever in your debt for your Arcane review. I watched it immediately after seeing your review, and it made my year. I'm so happy. It makes me so happy when I can help you guys discover things. Jay King says, celebrating my mom's birthday tonight, I picked up a cake from my favorite bakery in Brooklyn and had them write, treat yourself on it. Oh, that's so kind of you. I love that you're close with your mom. Wiki holiday merch is almost ready to go. I'd say it's 99% of the way there. The store will launch at 10 a.m. on Friday, November 25th. It'll be movie math merchandise. I'm so happy with how it turned out. I hope you agree. And there will be a Black Friday code to get a discount. Let's see here. Hey, Anthony, it's always so great to see you. Let's see. Danny's standing Grace Randolph at the gym. Awesome. Let's see here. Ooh, Ellie's making pancakes for breakfast in Melbourne. That sounds delicious. Let me give some shout outs to subscribers. Dolly says, just started knitting a new shawl for my partner while listening on my lunch break in Burbank. I love Burbank. That's so nice of you. It's really nice to get, I know somebody who knits, and I actually really enjoy getting things from them. Jesse the Goodrich says, planning my Thanksgiving plans is to go to the weekend to San Diego. That's a sunny Thanksgiving, all right. Toby says, eating cherry pie. That's my favorite of the pies. Emmanuel says, love being able to join and participate in a live on campus in Chicago. Oh, I'm so glad you were able to participate. That's fantastic. Eddie Wu says, about to join the strike at UC Berkeley supporting graduate student teacher wages. Good for you. That's so wonderful. You have a nice day too, Candles Jr. Let's see. I'm trying to shout out subscribers because they don't usually get to join in. Garrett says, studying for nursing school and applying for a study abroad in Jerusalem. Oh, that's exciting. Let's see here. You have a great day too, Mish. Thank you. Let's see here. What do we got? Liam says, early morning in Melbourne, Australia. Getting ready for the day to go shopping for some new Christmas decorations. That's right. It's Saturday for you, Liam. Let's see here. Ethan says, practicing piano at home before my big recital in Phoenix, Arizona. Oh, that's awesome. Voris is all about warm apple pie with vanilla ice cream. That is pretty delicious as well. Arun says, 'tis the season to start shoveling. Oh, you must live in a snowy climate, it seems. Thanks, Jen. Thank you so much. I'm glad, Jen Collin. I'm glad you were able to join today. Grant says, listening while working out and getting ready for, where'd that go? My high school weightlifting to start. Oh, that's great. Good luck. Break a leg. Tailored Fox says, just started eating dinner and I'm going to rewatch the start of your stream, which I missed. Oh, bon appetit. Let's see here. Yusuf says, loving all the content, Grace. You've been busy. Oh, I'm glad you feel that way. I always feel like I'm not putting out enough. Britt says, Grace, I picked up my new Mustang today. Oh, that's great. Oh, that's so funny. That's great. And I'm glad you agree with me. Congrats on your new car. Jordan says, working from home in Phoenix. And Ashley says, on my lunch break, eating sweet potato tacos. I've never had those. Thank you for all that you do. Your videos are such a joy to watch. Oh, that means a lot, Ashley. Thank you. AJ says, working while watching you in Southern California. Awesome. Let me do just a few more. And then, hey, Cedric. You were so right about Andor episode 6. Right? I've seen the last 2. They're not quite as strong, but they're very good. Thanks, Junior. That's nice. 6288. Let's see here. Babar, my dad's in the ICU. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Staying awake in the waiting room while listening to the stream at 2:30 a.m. Oh, Babar, sending positive thoughts to your father. I hope that he gets better soon, and it's so wonderful that you're there. Uber Sen says, chilling on my couch listening to the live in Marseille, France. That's so cool. I love France. Oh, look, Danielle Jones is also at her desk at work in Burbank. Oh, I like these stickers you guys are using. They must have added some new stickers in here. Bye, Hugo. Bye, Hugh Braithwaite. And then Nath says, just came home from the theater having watched Black Panther Wakanda Forever and about to watch your spoiler review. I hope you enjoy it. And Rashada says, hi from San Jose, California. And Little Miss says, hi from Finland. I'm ready to eat mozzarella sticks and start The Watcher. Love, Jennifer Coolidge. You're going to have a great time. The Watcher is a fantastic, fantastic show. All right, everybody. Oh, there's something I missed here. Thank you, Alejandro. That's so kind of you, Alejandro. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right, I better get on that Wednesday review. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great Saturday, and I'll see you on Sunday for movie math. And we'll see how Black Panther does in its second weekend. Okay, everybody. Bye. Bye.